What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. PST, and live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at the Jaime Dee Show. That's TheJaimedEESHOW, a real live morning radio show. Yes, we are live here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but also live everywhere else around the world, because not only are we on a radio show right now in Vegas, we're live on the KSHP app, we're live on TuneIn, we're live on social media platforms like I just told you, YouTube and more. So this really is a worldwide radio station and a radio show. Shout out to everybody who is live on the YouTube right now. I see the numbers are going up. If you would like to be a part of the conversation, make sure to actually sign into your YouTube account by using your Gmail account. Once you sign in, you can actually live chat with me, and I will be acknowledging your comments. As well, I have an interview today that you guys definitely have to stick around for. Before we get into that, the show rundown is daily news. And then I'm going to have Jenny R., who is a beauty expert and Las Vegas resident, who is going to be live on air today. And you would never believe why I'm unfortunately going to have her in person. She's joining me live to discuss how a prominent member of the community threatened her life with a gun, how the situation has changed the trajectory of her life, how the police and HOA are trying to silence her, what she's doing to fight back, and more. So make sure you are coming into the chat right now and you're typing in your questions and your comments so I can acknowledge them, so I can tell her whatever questions you guys have and ask them, and I can keep you guys involved. Now, if you want to call in, the number to call into this real live morning radio show, again, this is not a podcast, so there's no cursing, none of the extra stuff. It's 702-221-7283. There's a lot we're going over today, so don't miss out. Renee Dupree, shout out to you and for you for being in the YouTube right now. She just says we support Jenny R, and we're going to get into that interview, so make sure y'all stick around. All right, let's get into the daily news. So this Monday in New York, they held its annual ceremony to remember those who died on September 11th, 2001. Today marks 22 years since the World Trade Center's Twin Towers collapsed in the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. During today's ceremony, bells rang and a moment of silence was held at Ground Zero to remember those who were tragically killed that day. Vice President Harris attended the event at Ground Zero along with New York Mayor Eric Adams. He said in the tweet, quote, "September 11, 2001, we bore witness to such horror that day, but we also saw courage, bravery, and the New York City spirit. And when the sun rose on September 12th, we got up because that's what New Yorkers always do." Let's take a listen to this bell ring and also give a moment of silence to those who have lost their life to this tragic incident. All right, everybody, that was the moment of silence that we gave for those individuals who unfortunately lost their lives during this accident. And also, I am always about shining a positive light to those who deserve it. Shout out, and here's my sending of energy, positive light, and thankfulness to those who were part of this horrible incident, who saved many lives, and who were able to get everything under control during those times. So again, moment of silence for those who we tragically lost. And then again, I'm sending my love, prayers, energy, and positivity to those who were involved in this incident, who were first responders and more, saving lives on the actual ground. Thank you to everybody who's listening to that. Now let's get into some other news. And I have to bring in my general station manager for this because this news is pretty wild. And y'all probably may have some differing, opinions, because I kind of do too, but we're going to talk about it, okay? A Florida football coach has suspended himself after he was seen on camera cursing out one of his players and daring him to, quote, do something, end quote, while calling him a P word and a B word multiple times. The video shows Derek Jinks, 45, getting in the player's face while he was sitting down and verbally attacking him. It's not clear what led up to the situation, but Jinks, the head coach and founder of Southwest Florida Preparatory and Technical Institute in Naples, Florida, shared a video to the school's Facebook account where he sat down with the player that he cussed out and announced that he would be stepping away from the coaching after his actions. We're going to take a listen to the video that ended up with the coach apologizing, and then the apology video right afterwards. Take a listen. And real quick, for those who are listening live on the air, there may be a few swear words, just letting you know so you can get your kids prepared. All right, take a listen.
Be fucked up. Do something. Get the fuck up and do something. I'll blow your motherfucking light to fucking shambles. You got me fucked up.
Shut the door, bro.
Pussy ass bitch. Real motherfucking talk. You want to be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. I want to blow your shit out so motherfucking bad, you pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You my bitch.
I never told no one.
Go call your mom and tell her that. Come on. Get up.
Coach, no.
Get the fuck up. I'll rock your ass to sleep. You got me fucked up.
Coach, I never told no one.
You didn't say that?
I wasn't there.
Not a cop. You didn't say that? Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my life. Go. Pussy ass bitch. You got me fucked up.
Cause it's an old 5.2. I don't know how.
You want to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. I like this shit. I'm cut like that. I'm cut like that. Yeah, I'm trying to. What, put words in my mouth? Then you have to confront them. What?
All right, that was the coach yelling at him. Now we're going to pay attention and listen to the apologizing video. Take a listen.
And I'm Coach Jace, the founder and football coach at Southwest Florida Prep Tech. Today I want to take the time to take accountability for my actions that occurred earlier with a player and Mr. Jaime Dee. My actions today were very unneeded, disrespectful, and wasn't a good look as far as player-coach personnel goes. I hold my players in high accountability for the way they act, and I need to be held in the same standards. And at the moment, I feel that I let my team down, my coaches down, and our program down for the actions that I displayed earlier this afternoon. Moving forward, I am going to be suspending myself till further notice, holding myself accountable for the way I acted to my team and my coaches, and I'm going to do what I can to seek mentorship on myself.
There's another ones as well.
Myself to be able to become a better coach and mentor to my players so that I can make sure that this never happens again.
Hello, my name is Jaime Dee. I play for the Southwest Florida Prep and Tech Seahawks. The incident that unfolded today was uncalled for, and I'm glad my coach is taking accountability for his actions. That's something that's very, very important. Accountability is very, very important out here, so I'm glad he's holding himself to the same standard that he held us to. I do forgive the actions of Coach Jenks, as he's been a good mentor to me, and I'm hoping we can move forward. Go Seahawks.
So as y'all heard in this video, the coach was going in on this football player. And I don't know if anybody's listening played sports. I have. I've been in situations like that where, gratefully, I wasn't yelled at, but I've seen other players get yelled at and screamed at and cursed at for a lot of different actions that they decided to take while on specific teams. I played a lot of different sports growing up in high school, college, and more. And so I want to ask my general station manager, who's currently a coach right now, his opinion, because I have a few thoughts. One, my thought is it should never get that serious and that aggressive and that in your face to a student, especially somebody who's a child or somebody who's in college. I personally don't believe that things should ever get that heated. However, I personally believe, because we know we don't all have the full story, it hasn't come out yet, something had to have happened for that coach to respond that way. Because if you listen to what the coach was saying, he was saying, do you want to do gangster-ish? Do you want to put words in my mouth? Do you want to do all these different things? And what I know to be true as a football player in my past life and as a sports player in general, there are a lot of people who look like me, who are from hoods and more, who get into sports as a way to get out of their situation, but continue to do gangster things and hood rat stuff and do things that are not conducive to getting out of their situation. And a lot of times our coaches are like our second parents. And there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. And I'm going to tell y'all this happens way more than y'all think it does. And it happened in the past too, but we just didn't have cell phones back in the day. So like I said, there's two sides of the coins. One, he went a little too far, but also two, he probably saved a life by intervening with a student and being that father figure and putting that pressure on him so he doesn't do gangster stuff. What's your thoughts, Mark?
Two parts. One, this coach has done this to other players before. Mm-hmm. Just never been on video. Just Facts. Never probably been recorded. So this isn't the first time he's went off and berated the kids like this. And my question with this is, one, if you are disciplined or if you are talking to somebody, you take him into your office, you lock the door behind, no cameras, no videos, because that's number one, out of respect for not only you, but also out of respect for the player. You don't want, I seen other players there. Yeah. So that was my number one thing that I really was against. I'm a player. I grew up in the atmosphere of, the coaches, are role models. The coaches are people that we look up to. Even to this day, I still talk to a lot of football coaches that coach me, and I always thank them for the things that they've done for me in my life. I think this was an incident where this coach has always talk this way at practice. He's probably cussing guys out and he's trying to get to guys, and some players do need that type of coaching, hard, rough, and that's how some coaches coach. I've coached for 15 years and I've never cussed or yelled at a player to get through to him. I got through to him just by talking to him and letting him understand what's going on.
Wait, so are you saying you could be rough without cursing and being demeaning? Okay.
Yes, you can coach a player and get through to them without cussing them out and calling them and belittling them. I've done it. Like I said, I've coached younger kids. I've coached middle school kids. I even coached high school kids. And I had coaches on my staff that I wouldn't let demean those kids either. Yes, they yell at them, but there's ways to get through to kids without doing what this coach did. But I think that's his style of coaching. Yeah. And he does this at practice. I guarantee if we pulled up and went to one of his practice, if a guy came late or if a guy showed up and wasn't practicing well, he stopped practice. He's kind of
like that, make an example
that
of a
leader, kind of that role model that has to try to live through these kids, right? A lot of these kids, he personally have never been where they've been, right? So it's hard for him to try to say I'm a gangster. He got tattoos all over his arm, but he didn't grow up where a lot of these kids grew up at.
Right.
And so I think that the second part was, I think he could have handled it a different way. But he's a yeller.
Do you think his intentions were wrong though?
No, I don't. I don't think his intentions were wrong.
So real quick, Danielle Davis says, you have to keep your cool with children. You can discipline without being demeaning. Ricky McCoy says, regardless of anything, the coach has to set an example. Quote, be the change that you want to see, end quote. Yeah. And I agree. Personally, I like I said, it was two sides for me. I feel like he was doing a little too much, but I see what he was trying to do, and I personally believe he was just trying to be that role model for that student. He just did it the wrong way.
For all those kids, and I can guarantee he's went off like this a lot of times. I know coaches just like him that's how they think they need to get through to
kids. Is it wrong to you? Do you think it's wrong? Because that's why I'm confused. Is it wrong or is it not wrong? 'Cause what I'm hearing is that it's not wrong to be rough and not to be a leader. What's wrong is cursing and demeaning the kids. Is that correct?
No, I don't think the cursing part, because some coaches, that's how they coach.
So it's not bad to curse.
No, that's how they coach.
And you're a coach, so I'm asking
like
you.
I said, I don't yell and curse, but I don't yell and curse in my life.
But you also deal with younger students, though. You don't deal with college
these
students.
look like they were high school kids.
These are college students.
These are high school.
My bad.
Well, prep. Yes,
Yeah,
preparatory
high
school.
my bad.
So these are high school, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade.
Yeah.
But
That's not old enough for a curse word?
my only thing with what he did is, if you are, and he knows the kind of coach he is, I call them screamers.
Okay.
Even when they're happy, they scream.
Yeah.
Even when they're mad and pissed off, they scream and yell. I had a bunch of coaches like that on my staff where I had to check them into the point to where, but not in front of the kids. It was after practice. Hey man, look, let me talk to that kid, because some kids, when you do that way, they shut down. When you do it that way, they feel embarrassed and they quit. Right? You don't have to break a kid down to make them get to listen. I've never broken a kid down, and I got kids right now playing in college. I still talk to their parents and like, you are the best thing that happened to my kid and all the coaches he done been around, because coaches yell, they screamed, but they tried that tactic to get out of kids, because a lot of them didn't grow up with these kids. I grew up where they grew up at.
Yeah.
And I know when you yell at a kid and you belittle a kid, especially in front of their friends, they shut down.
Yeah.
They quit. They give up. They go back to the hood, because nobody's really yelling at them in the hood.
Right.
Right. And so I think he needs to talk to somebody like an adult that has been in the hood, that coaches. But even in the hood, the kids are coaching. I mean, the coaches are talking to the kids like that, because that's how somebody talked to them.
Right. Makes sense.
And I didn't have not one coach ever yell and scream and cuss at me like this guy just did this kid. But I do know some coaches, and I've been around some coaches, that's how they coach, because they've never, these kids, they have these kids for 2 hours a day, and then they go home to their life. They haven't had to deal with these kids and their upbringing. So
and their everyday mess.
he don't know exact. All he knows is you're playing for me.
What's happening in those 2 hours?
And what's happening? Okay, you want to be hanging out. This kid, that's probably his only way of life is when he leaves practice, he goes to
Back to the tour
back
club.
and walking through the neighborhood, and it's drugs, it's gun violence, it's all these different things. And so that kid's probably been yelled at his whole life. Just looking at that second video,
Right.
This kid, he's been yelled like that before, and probably his whole life. And so he was able to accept it. He didn't jump up. He didn't get in the coach's face.
But even with that too, and we do have to end because we have to bring in Jenny. But my biggest thing is everybody does not learn the same way.
Right.
And you could, like you said earlier, certain students and people in general, even adults our age, we have triggers, and being yelled at could be a trigger, and it could shut us down. We may not even respond the way you want us to respond, and it, literally your quote unquote teachings is going through one ear and out the other.
Right.
So I can understand that, and we do need to have people who are understanding our students, understanding the upbringing, and walking through these hoods to understand how people have to live on a daily, so they know how to approach these students at their level. Because I personally believe, like I said, what he did was inappropriate. Do I believe that he needs to be suspended? Probably not. I just think he thinks he needs some training, to be honest. But I do believe he came from a good standpoint. He really does want to see better for those students. And I don't think he's racist. People in the comments like he's racist.
No. And you can look at the team. It's a
family.
Florida preparatory school.
Yeah.
So these kids, he's giving them a better environment. He's giving them a preparatory school is kind of like a secondary school for kids that don't have to go to public school, and can't afford private school. So that's what a preparatory school is, and these kids are opportunity. And he's probably so passionate about what he's doing, and all the kids on this, I can guarantee just by looking at the few that was there, if that was a white kid, does he still get that same flack? Right.
Well, my thing is, if that was a white kid, would he even have the same story?
But I'm just saying, does he get the same flack if he's cussing him out like that?
Now that's something we have to investigate. Now, if you're not doing it to the white kids, that's an issue. But I'm sure, and if you look at the people who were in the room, it looked like there was all black, a part of the same peer group. And so my thing is, again, it's a situation where I don't believe race has anything to do with this. I don't believe that he was coming from a bad place, and I don't think that he meant any harm to these students. He really wants to be there, and like you saw in the video, he was able to hold himself accountable and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just let myself go before y'all let me go. I'm gonna do it myself. Yeah. And that's an example of a true leader, and I hope he does learn from mistakes. We do have to take a break.
Let's take a break
and bring in Jenny R, because if you guys are just now tuning in, we have so much more to go over today. So we just went over the daily news. We had a moment of silence for 9/11 again, where we did a rest in peace to those who have lost their lives and more. And again, we sent positive energy, love, light, and more to those who were first responders and people who were in that situation helping save lives. We just about the situation with the Florida coach. Oh, guys. And now, the reason I made that breath is because while I'm excited to have her in person, because she's a great person, I'm sad that we're talking about this story, y'all. We're going to have Jenny R, who's a beauty expert and Las Vegas resident, join me live to discuss how a prominent member of the community threatened her life with a gun. How the situation has changed the trajectory of her life. How the police and HOA are trying to silence her. Mind you, this has happened in Las Vegas. What she's doing to fight back and more. So make sure to stick around. If you're tuned in Las Vegas, thank you for being in your car and listening in. But if you're tuned in on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or Facebook, make sure to sign in and comment live so I can see your comments. I am acknowledging people. I see Kanan. I see Dylan. I see Dr. V. Green. I see Antonio Holloway. I see Miss Davis. I see more people in the YouTube right now. The numbers are going up, so make sure to stick around. And if you want to call in to ask questions, the number is 702-221-7283. Again, 702-221-7283. This is the Jaime Dee Show. Don't forget to subscribe, and support the kid, and send this link out to more people. I'll be right back.
World Premium CBD offers full and broad spectrum CBD oil, extracts, and capsules which are designed to help you feel your best. Their products are sourced from the best organic hemp and natural ingredients on the market and are tested for quality, purity, and potency. They have a full range of items from health and wellness to beauty to pets. Call 725-205-9223. Visit online at zinworld.com or stop by their location at 9895 South Maryland Parkway and Silverado Ranch Parkway. Mention KSHP for 10% off in store or use code KSHP online for 15% off.
Is your dog suffering from a sensitive stomach? Hi, it's Kelly the Cookie Lady from Mooch's Munchies. Our dogs had super sensitive tummies and I needed to find a low-fat treat that wouldn't give them gas or other issues. Most of the treats on the market were loaded with fillers, chemicals, and chicken fat. Many of them weren't even food. Well, I knew I could do better, so I developed Mooch's Munchies, and I'm happy to be able to share them with you. Stop by our store or our website, moochesmunchies.com, and find out why we say that Mooch's Munchies are totally pawsome.
Hungry for the best barbecue in Las Vegas? Come out to the infamous barbecue and meat market, John Mole's Meats and Roadkill Grill in Las Vegas. John Mole's was featured on the Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Now take home delicious meat selections for your grill, and while you're there, grab a bite of the best barbecue in Las Vegas. With 2 locations now at Tom and Gowan or on North Decatur, you're sure to find the perfect meats for your next barbecue or party. Find us online at johnmolemeats.com.
I'm Nathan Atkins, and I know the Drip Bar LV is the place to be for natural health and wellness. We offer wellness-boosting IV vitamin therapies designed to enhance your immune system, promote healthy aging, increase your energy levels, and improve athletic performance and recovery. Book your session today by visiting our website at thedripbar.com. That's thedripbar.com, or give us a call at 702-846-0851. That number again is 702-846-0851. Mention you're a listener of the Jaime Dee Show and receive 15% off.
50 years of Greek dancing, Greek music, Greek food, and fun mark the 50th anniversary of the annual Greek Food Festival at St. John the Baptist Greek Orthodox Church, 5300 South El Camino, corner of Hacienda and Jones. Friday, September 15th, 3 p.m. to 11. Saturday, September 16th, noon to 11. And Sunday, September 17th, noon to 10 p.m. Featuring continuous Greek dancing and live band with Council President John Fotopoulos playing the bouzouki. Log on to LasVegasGreekFest.com.
I'm Nathan Atkins, and I know the Drip Bar LV is the place to be for natural health and wellness. We offer wellness-boosting IV vitamin therapies designed to enhance your immune system, promote healthy aging, increase your energy levels, and improve athletic performance and recovery. Book your session today by visiting our website at thedripbar.com. That's thedripbar.com. Or give us a call at 702-846-0851. That number again is 702-846-0851. Mention you're a listener of the Jaime Dee Show and receive 15% off.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. PST, and live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at the Jaime Dee Show. If you're just now tuning in, I already went over the daily news. I want you all to know I'm about to have this amazing guest in, unfortunately for not the right reasons, but amazing guest. And I want you all to know, if you're live on the YouTube right now, click subscribe, like, and comment. I know y'all see me. I need some support too. I know y'all standing with Jenny R supporting her, but support the kid too. I got stories too. I'm gonna stop playing. But no, for real. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, support the kid. If you guys have anything that you want to promote on the radio, hit me up. Whether that's music, whether that's your story, whether that's you want to get in the radio. Yes, these things cost. We definitely work with people's budgets, so make sure to hit us up if you want to get yourself on the radio as well. I know you see all the swag in the background. You see the Drip Bar flyer, the Drip Bar glass bottle, the Drip Bar t-shirt. If you guys don't know, the Drip Bar is one of my proud sponsors here at the Jaime Dee Show. I do live remotes, which means I go there in person and do my show from the location every other Friday. I just did one this past Friday, which is actually how I met Jenny R. And I'll be back there again this upcoming Friday, September 22nd. Now, if you go to the Drip Bar, which is located on 4579 West Flamingo Road, again, 4579 West Flamingo Road in Las Vegas, Nevada, located 2 blocks away from the Palms Casino, I personally will pay for your first free IV vitamin drip and pay for your first month of your membership. Yep, courtesy of me, Jaime Dee. I'm balling like that. You know, I gotta speak that into existence. But make sure you guys check out the Drip Bar. They have so many different options. If you don't know what IV vitamin drips are, that's that big bag of vitamins that you see in the hospital, and then you only see it there. Well, you have it in real life now. Now you don't gotta go to the hospital for those big bags of vitamins. And so when I was there this past Friday, I personally got the Restoration that has vitamin C, magnesium, B12, B complex, and glutathione in it, and the description is, for those times when too much of a good thing leaves you feeling not so great. The Restoration helps to flush toxins out of your body and provides you with micronutrients, antioxidants, and fluids to help accelerate your rehydration and recovery. They also have I Am Quick Shots like I Am Supercharged, which gives you mega energy, weight loss, and a brain reboot. They have I Am Single Shots, biotin, B complex, magnesium, B12, Mic B12, Triamino, vitamin D, and more. So make sure you check out the Drip Bar Las Vegas, located on 4579 West Flamingo Road here in Las Vegas, Nevada. A proud sponsor of the Jaime Dee Show. All right, I know you guys are awaiting this part of the show, so I'm gonna give it to you. All right, I'm gonna give it to you because it's okay, friend. I got you. I know you're nervous. It's okay, but I got you. Y'all, let me give her a positive introduction, because even though this situation is negative, she still deserves that positive light shine on her, and I want to give her that love and that care and that grace, because y'all, she's nervous. So without further ado, let's shout out the beautiful, the graceful, and the most intelligent Jenny R, who is a beauty expert and Las Vegas resident and a proud mother.
Yeah,
she's a mother, y'all. Yeah. So without further ado, let's welcome in Jenny R. How are you doing today?
My pleasure. Good, Jamie. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I know you're a little nervous, friend, but I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I got you. So, Jenny, I know that unfortunately we're bringing you into the radio show to have a uncomfortable conversation, and a conversation that has negatively impacted your life. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know that this is a safe space. So my pleasure. Please feel free to control your own narrative. I'm going to ask you some tough questions.
I understand.
But we're gonna get into this because I want people to know the severity of this interview. Yeah. Now, for y'all who are just now tuning in, again, Jenny R is a beauty expert and Las Vegas resident, and she's joined me live to discuss how a prominent member of the community threatened her life with a gun. Yeah. You hear me right? A prominent member, not just any old somebody, a prominent member. How the situation has changed the trajectory of her life, how the police and HOA are trying to silence her what is she doing to fight back, and more. So, Jenny, before we get into the questions, I want you to take this time to explain the story in full detail to those who are listening.
Okay, well, Jamie, I just want to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It is a refreshing experience to come in contact with you and meet you and have you open your doors to tell my story. This situation it's still fresh. It happened on the 2nd of September. So about a little over a week ago, last Saturday. So entering my gated and guarded community, I was coming into our transponder lane, which is for residents only. And you have to merge into this one lane. It was busy. It was a Saturday. And I was trying to merge and the person didn't let me merge. I really didn't think too much of it. It was just like, okay, whatever. So the person that was behind that car allowed me to merge. So I continued to go. And then I was on the phone, so I wasn't even really paying attention when this situation started to escalate. But I noticed that the car in front of me, the guy started hanging out the car, yelling obscenities, getting really upset. And I had to stop for a minute, like, is he talking to me? Because I really didn't realize that it had got that bad. So he was, and it was all transpiring in front of our security guards. It is recorded as well. So I saw them kind of motioning for him to just keep the line moving. And I was like, what's going on? I looked at them like, what's the problem? Because he was holding up traffic, but he was definitely yelling at me. And what he was saying was obnoxious. I can't repeat that on the radio. But I continued to go. And so I ended up being in the right lane and he was in the left lane. So at this point, he ended up right next to my car, which was like, okay, here we go. Because I was trying to just turn and go home.
Right.
But it was busy. So it was a lot of people out in the community. It was people golfing. So golf carts were riding by. I couldn't even turn immediately. So he pulled up next to me. All the windows were down. And I noticed that he had 2 women in the car as well. So now everybody's yelling at my car. Get out the car, once again, saying a lot of inappropriate things. And my first reaction was kind of like I stopped because, of course, I wanted to respond really bad, like negatively and give that same energy.
It's natural, yeah.
But I noticed he had kids in the car. And the kids were small, like in a car seat and then a toddler. So my first thought was, and I did say, oh, wow, you guys are doing all this with kids in the car? Okay, that's crazy, but okay. And he got mad. It was like I triggered something when I said that. And he grabbed a fanny pack off the dashboard, pulled a gun out, and just held it up at me. So I was in shock. But at that point, I immediately turned the corner and I just kind of looked because I didn't even have a chance to really see if anybody was in the street. So I'm like, oh, did I hit somebody? I know, right? So I looked, I didn't, but I immediately went back to our security because I know that everything is recorded as well. And I just let them know, like, okay, a gun was just pulled on me. You saw the guy acting really irate. He pulled out a gun. Please call the police. Hurry up. He's driving through the community with this gun. So from there, it kind of just like they were still really passive to me. Like it was no sense of urgency. And they were like, well, you have to go to the back gate. The back gate, that's the same direction that the suspect just went in with the gun. So I questioned that. I had a few questions about that. And I said, okay, can you call the supervisor? Can they come up here? No, you have to go to the back gate. I did that. I was told that the police were called. They took a statement, verbal statement, nothing written that day. And after about an hour and a half, I was like, why aren't the police here?
Right.
So I questioned that and I questioned security again. And then another security officer was like, well, we didn't call the police because we can't call on the residents' behalf. And I was just like,
What?
That doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we here for?
Right.
And why would you tell me that if the police weren't called? Like, this is serious. What's going on? And clearly this person is a resident. So now we're in the same community and you didn't call the police, so I called the police. They didn't come out though, even though I thought that would, definitely bring them out right away. They didn't. I was told that they were busy and were overloaded with calls, and that they could take a verbal report over the phone, and then I would have to go into the police station, which was then closed. I'm from Chicago, so it's a little different.
Chicago, you know.
I'm like, I never heard of a police station being closed.
Right, because they
like,
for 24 hours.
I swear, everywhere. So that was kind of like, I thought I was getting the wrong information. And then when I started telling my family and friends who are from Chicago, they all were like, that cannot be true. Like, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, no, these are facts. The police station is closed. I can't go in to file a report. And so I had to do one over the phone. And they sent me to 311.
What? That's not emergency.
Exactly. In Chicago.
This is life-threatening.
Yeah, in Chicago as well. 311 is like, okay, my garbage cans. I need new garbage cans. They stole them.
Right.
So that was a little weird for me. And I did express that to them on the phone. Like, I've never heard of this, but they did assure me it was correct. I Googled, I asked around. It was the truth.
Okay.
So I had to wait days after that to file a police report. But I did, I was on security as far as like, I need the footage. I need everything so that I can have this for the police. I wasn't able to get an official police report until that following Tuesday.
What?
Yes. Late Monday was Labor Day. So I didn't get an official report until that Tuesday.
Right.
And even with filing a report, it was a little bit disheartening as well, because at the police station while I was doing so, I was asked if I invited this person to harass me.
What?
I thought that was very disrespectful.
That's unhuman-like. What the? Oh.
I absolutely have never seen this person before, not even
So
in the community.
They victim blame you.
Yeah, I was confused with that statement. I've never seen this person before, and like
this is a police officer that asked you this?
I believe it was a civilian. They have civilians that take the report.
Okay.
So he did ask me that. I let him know. No, I don't know this person. Never have seen this person in my life. Like, even though we're in the same community, I've never seen him. So I filed the report. I reached out to my HOA that they were too busy to speak with me on that Tuesday. Twice when I went into the HOA office, the director was unavailable. She gave someone her card in the office and just said that I do have this incident on my desk, and basically I'll get to it. I was told to do another comment report, like comment card or something in the office, which was kind of like, okay. I did it though, and they still hadn't did anything. So come Wednesday, I still hadn't heard anything from the HOA. I hadn't heard anything else from the police. I was calling the police again. I was calling just to follow up. I was calling the HOA. I went back to the HOA office. I still hadn't got any response. It was maybe Wednesday around 4:00, the HOA finally called me and said, can you be here in 15 minutes? So luckily I wasn't far and I was able to get there. And then when I got there, it still was like, it was almost like they were upset with me because I'm reporting this. Because I will say this, I forgot this part. I went on the Nextdoor app. I never heard of the Nextdoor app, and somebody was like, you need to get the Nextdoor app to bring light to this situation, because this is crazy, it's serious, and this person is still in the community armed with a gun and very unresponsible with it. So I did go on the Nextdoor app. I shared my story, a summary of it on the Nextdoor app, and I let them know, what happened. And then on that Tuesday, I also forgot to say, when I was coming back from getting my son from school, I saw the person walking through the community getting his son from the school bus.
Hey, so he lives where you live?
Yes.
That's insane.
In the gated community. Yeah.
How are you unsafe in your gated community? Okay, you know what? Keep going. This is ridiculous.
So I was taking pictures from my car, so they were a little blurry, but I was taking pictures from my car, just trying to snap images of him in his car so I could have it. And he noticed me because my truck is very noticeable. Okay,
You got a nice car.
It's,
I do want to ride in your car.
well, it's real noticeable. So I knew that once he saw it, he was gonna know it was me, and he did. He started giving me the finger and all of that. So I'm like, okay, yeah,
The audacity.
yeah. So he recognized it was me, and then I put those pictures on there on the Nextdoor app with my summary of what happened. Luckily, I did that because I hadn't got any help, so I was like, I'm just gonna have to do this on my own because I can't just stand here, sit around while nothing's being done. I was terrified. Like, I live here, I have to see him, I have children.
If I may cut you off real quick, and I want you to continue telling your story, but I do know you told me something behind the scenes, and you do want this to be said. There were other people outside of him and his kids that were involved in this situation. You did tell me that he said that he was going to sick somebody on you. Can you attest to that point as well?
Yes. He said that his two wives were in the car, and there was two women in the car, and they would get out and beat my SS. Yes.
And this all happened at the same time?
All at the same time.
So he chased after you pretty much, pointed a gun in your direction, threatened you, and told you that he would sick his two wives on you.
Yes.
With his kids in the car.
With his kids in the car.
And did his two wives say anything?
Yeah, they were yelling a lot of stuff. Get out, telling me to get out the car.
All because a alleged cutoff situation.
It wasn't even cut off because he was in front of me. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't even understand where the anger was coming from. Like, you didn't let me in, and I didn't blow my horn at him after that. Like, nothing. So it was untriggered. Right. Like, so I just, it was an unprovoked attack. So that made it even worse.
Now, with this situation, have you been able to identify who these quote unquote two wives were?
I have an idea.
You have an idea? And have you seen them since?
I've seen him. I haven't seen the two wives, but I have seen him.
Okay.
A total of 3 times since the incident.
Wow.
Because at the time I'm coming from getting my son from school, he's getting his son off the school bus in front of our community.
Right.
So I've seen him. The other times I was, in a different vehicle, so he didn't notice me. Right. But I've just kind of been snapping pictures and just, documenting everything. Okay. Because it's very disheartening. It's a terrifying situation, like I said, because we still live in the same community. If he was in a different car or, anything, he could possibly find my house, and I don't know. Like, when someone acts like that in the world we living in, people snap. I don't know.
And you had your kids with you?
Not at that time.
Not at that time.
The second time I did, I had my son, and I just told him to lean all the way back in the car because I didn't want him to know how anybody in my family looks. Right. You know what I mean?
How old is your son?
My son is 11.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course, he was scared as well. And, he naturally has that instinct, like, I'm going to protect you, mommy. But it's like, no, I got this. We're going to do it the right way. I'm, going to continue this fight. And it triggered something in me to really get involved in my community and really, get a handle on situations like this. Because when I did do the Nextdoor app, I had community members. So I did have a very supportive community and people reaching out to me. And actually, what made it really, really crazy was that another resident, a woman, reached out to me and said, I had this same encounter with this same person.
What?
She said he didn't pull the gun, but everything else was in line with my story. And mind you, I did a summary of my story on the Nextdoor app, so it wasn't detailed. But when she messaged me, she was detailed. And it was the same exact thing, merging through the transponder lane. She actually cut him off. She had her son in the car, and he began yelling obscenities at her in front of security. And my thing is that security, I don't expect you to detain him, but I do expect it to be documented. Right. But this individual, she was very scared. She did express that to me. She was terrified, and she was scared to report it. But that was another reason I felt like I needed to speak openly about it, because when you're silenced like that, then it's hard to get a hold on it, because now we don't know who the person is. We don't even know it's a pattern.
Right.
So this is a pattern. And I think it's important that we just bring light to it because he could possibly do it to somebody else.
Well, because what we're hearing right now is that at this point he's a danger to the community.
Exactly.
Well, first of all, Jenny, I'm so apologetic to your situation, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, and I wish I could help. I mean, not much I could do other than give you this platform.
This is
you know what I'm
help.
saying? And I'm sorry that you have to deal with this, especially as a black woman. We know in this space there's this horrible situation where people are saying, we have to protect black women. And I want to ask you this question because we brought this up before we got on air, and I wanted people to hear this because there's unfortunately be haters. This is a real live morning radio show, and people are listening all over Vegas right now, and we're also on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. You have a lot of people in the comments like Gina Chandler, Emmanuel Morris, Ricky McCoy, Tracy, Dr. V Green, Raquel. People are saying that they stand with you, they support you, and so on and so forth. But we have seen on social media that there have been women coming up, especially black women, unfortunately, with their stories of how they've been threatened by other people or they've been attacked, and then people have gone out of their way to show how they were lying. And I'm not saying that you are at all, but I do want to give you the space to create your own narrative and control your own narrative. How would you respond to people who may be like, I'm not sure if we can trust her right away, or that story doesn't seem that big of a deal because he didn't actually threaten her with the gun, he just pointed at her. What's your thoughts of that?
Well, my thoughts on that is that I can't base my life off of other people's falsehoods. All I can do is speak my truth with integrity, grace, and keep my head high, and don't let that deter me from speaking my truth, because I'm concerned about not only myself but my family and our whole community. And I don't think it's an isolated incident. I just think that everybody should be concerned, because it's happening everywhere. And as long as people are able to get away with things like that, they'll continue to do things like that. I can't worry about other people lying and I know, and I knew speaking out about it, I would have the negative along with the positive, and that's okay with me. I mean, that's with everything we do. And, you're never going to get 100% positive. That doesn't scare me in any type of way or intimidate me in any type of way, because I'm just worried about speaking my truth, and that's all I can do. Now,
Jenny, you did say, and I know you don't want to speak the name out yet because you're still going through investigation, and this is your first ever live interview about this situation, but this person is a prominent member of the community. Without getting too far into his identity, because I know we can't say that yet, could you at least say if this person is a black man, a white man, a Hispanic man?
It's a black man, which I do hate.
I
hate that. It is. It's very unfortunate. It was sad for me. I mean, even as a black woman, to be treated like that by a black man, it's like, man, we supposed to
be here, support each other,
protect black women, and that's important. Like, protect women, period. But yeah, black women, and you doing this to me, and we're the minority.
And apparently, you got 2 wives.
Yeah,
how you treating them?
Exactly. And we're the minority in our community, in my community. Like, we're the minority. So,
and this is like a gated, like uppity community, like the suburbs, pretty much, right? Yeah, you can't be going into people's places acting like that.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. Now, how has this changed your trajectory in your life? Like, are you afraid to walk outside? Are you uncomfortable? I see that you came to the station with people.
I did.
Okay.
So it makes you very uncomfortable because, like, I walk through my community regularly. That's my workout, my exercise. My kids play outside. I moved to the community for those amenities and to experience that. It's definitely changed me, because this whole week has been it's been hard, it's been rough, it's been stressful, because like I said, you still have to see this person and you don't know what their thoughts are or what they're thinking. And I'm passionate about safeguarding myself, my family, and I refuse to let any harm come to us. So it's like I have this unwavering determination just to protect and defend my family, you know what I mean, and our community. So it does trigger something in you, because it's like, no, it's one thing when it's just me. Right. But like you said, I'm a mother, and my babies, I can't allow that. Right. So I have to speak out about it. I don't have a choice. Right. You know what I mean? Despite any naysayers, I have to.
And this is your story. You deserve to have control of your narrative. You were talking about how you reach out to police, you reach out to the HOA, and they weren't fast enough. They weren't responsive in general, and you didn't feel protected by them. How were they trying to silence you in your story?
Well, when I first met with the HOA after days of waiting and them being so busy, one of the things they said after they heard I was on the Nextdoor app was like trying to deter me from using social media to find the suspect, because I knew how he looked, but I didn't know his identity or anything.
Right.
But like I told them, that actually helped me. It helped me a lot because I had a lot of people reach out to me through that app giving me information. So that was the only help I had. I didn't have police actively investigating it at that time. The HOA wasn't really doing anything, and that really bothered me because they knew who he was. Our transponder, license plates, all of that is attached to our addresses. So I knew that they knew who he was after they ran the address, and it just seemed like it was a real lax approach, no sense of urgency to get him out of our community.
Right. And Jenny, you did say that once you started posting that you were going to be on my live morning radio show, then they started reaching out to you more.
Yeah, not the HOA, because they act like they just don't want to talk to me at all. Like as of Friday when because I questioned a lot of things, and I just, I'm not doing it to be a problem. I'm doing it to be change. I'm trying to, implement change. I just feel like, when it comes to first responders and people in leadership positions, you have to take accountability and to make the change. If you are not accountable and you don't feel like you did anything wrong, things will stay the same.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to, I'm seeing the kinks, and I'm like, okay, well, my situation, a lot of people dropped the ball on that. So I'm asking for, safety protocols and procedures from my HOA and security when things like this happen, so that not only the community know what to do, but the security guards who are working on duty, they know what to do. They should have a guideline, of what procedures to follow when things like this happen. Okay, take the license plate, have the person write a statement, because those things weren't done when this happened to me. So I'm just trying to be the change. I'm not trying to be a problem. I'm just using my story and my situation to help the next person.
Well, Jenny, I am in full support of you. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and I know we talked about having a part 2 coming on, and maybe even at that point exposing who this individual is. So we're going to work on that behind the scenes. Before I let you go, though, I want to say this. One, I'm proud of you for sticking up for yourself. I'm proud of you for not being afraid. My pleasure. I know how it could be being in a community where there's not that many of us, not that many of black people, not that many of black women, not that many of black men. And then you're facing up against the HOA, who is a big organization. You're facing against the police officers of Las Vegas, and we know how they can be. We know that Vegas, unfortunately, is still a racist city. We understand that it's very social discriminatory here in Vegas, and we want to be that change we want to see, but it can be hard when you're pretty much up against the wall fighting for yourself. And so we support you here. We hope that you get my pleasure. We hope you get all the justice you can get. Now, people are asking me a lot. So I guess I have to ask the question, were his wives black?
No.
They weren't black.
No, they weren't.
Were they white?
It was a white one, and then I believe she was Latin.
Oh.
So my first thought was maybe he doesn't like black women.
Okay, well, we're gonna leave this for this next interview. But Jenny, thank you so much for coming on to the Jaime Dee Show. I'm gonna ring the bell for you because you deserve the justice, you deserve the love, you deserve the light. You are a beauty expert, you are a mother, you are you. You are Jenny. There's no other Jenny who can be who you are. And I pray for you. I pray that you have the safety, security, and just the resolution you deserve. All right, Jenny, thank you so much.
Can I just say this, Jaime? I just want to tell people it's beauty in the power of our voice and utilizing that. And I just think that we need to do that more so we can see change.
You're not wrong. Everybody, that was Jenny R. Hopefully we'll have her, my pleasure. Hopefully we'll have her back live on air. This is the Jaime Dee Show. For those who are tuning in, I see we have so many people on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know we just had this unfortunate situation, but this is the end of my show. And I have to let you all know that I need the support too. I need the love. I am a black individual, male, who is doing this all by himself. This is my very own live morning radio show. I got a master's. I spent 8 years getting to this role, and I just got this position 2 months ago. So support the kid, like, comment, subscribe, and keep coming to my live morning radio show every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. PST. If you want to sponsor the show, if you want to donate, if you want to promote your music, promote your business, promote anything, hit us up, info@jaimedee.com. That's info@JAIMEDEE.com. Follow me on Instagram @It's Jaime Dee. That's ITSJAIMEDEE. We love you all so much. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out. What's up, everybody? You were just tuned into the Jaime Dee Show, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. If you aren't in the Las Vegas area, you can catch my show live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show. That's TheJaimed